we're ready to cook. So I'm going to turn my stove on to about medium, and I'm just going to start cooking. And I'm going to cook this to the softball stage, which is about, with on it your candy thermometer, about 245, between 235 and 245. And we will just check it from time to time. I do pretty much have to stay here with it. And it does take a bit of time, and I think actually I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I'm also switching it to small burner. It gets hot with with the big burner, and I'm not using that part of the element much. So this is what it's going to look like at the very beginning. You still can see, it's heated up a little bit, so that butter that didn't really melt is starting to melt. And this actually kind of turns out being kind of a caramelish type of icing, but it's good. So we'll just keep this stirring for a little bit, or for a while anyway. Okay. And I think instead of making me sit here the whole time I'm stirring this, we'll just do progress reports again. Okay, it's really starting to melt now and look liquidy. It is. Let's put the candy thermometer in and see how we're progressing here. And I want it in the middle, but I don't want it to touch the bottom of the pan. Okay, so we are barely at 100 degrees there. So I'm going to wipe it off. I don't have enough stuff in here to stick it on the side like you would normally do. Because I tried it earlier before I turned the stove on, and I couldn't get it in without touching the bottom of the pan. So we'll just keep stirring here. I will guarantee you that it is really starting to smell yummy, yummy, yummy. One of the gals that is in the family that had us over for Easter, she loves white chocolate, but doesn't like regular chocolate. And when they found out I was bringing a cake, they made bets that it was going to be chocolate because everybody else in the family is crazy about chocolate. I actually did not realize this though. And I wanted to practice making this cake, so I made it for them. Excuse me, my nose really itches. I just got a bunch of dry skin. And she got so excited when she found out it was white chocolate. And I still kind of chuckle every time I think about this, that I won first prize in that little recipe contest. Mom started entering those like right after we moved to Danville. She's was always interested in cooking too, as was her mother and her grandmother, which would have been Nana and my great grandmother. Now, I don't remember where she got this recipe. I think I need to stir a little harder. Seems like it's caramelizing a little bit on the bottom before I get it. I might change spoons for the miller. Again, maybe 125 now. We are making progress. Start to boil a little bit. So I think I'm going to turn the heat down just a tad. I'd say 175. 175. I'm getting closer and closer. Now, if I didn't have my candy thermometer, if I wanted, softball means that when you drip it in, a glass of ice water, it makes kind of a soft ball. If I can move quick enough after it gets there. Oh, I'm smelling the stuff I put on the stuff at the bottom of the pan. Okay. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, see, this is just turning darker and darker like it's supposed to, so I think we're good. But I can't leave it now to fix a glass of ice water. Dogs, you gotta wait. I can't come let you out right now. It still has a good ways to go. But see how it is starting to turn darker? A more caramely color. So I wonder how the guys are doing cooking. I mean, fishing. Okay, let's take another gander here. Okay, we still got a ways to go. Just keeping an eye on it. And it is. It's getting toastier and toastier looking. You can't really, with the camera one, you can't really see how much color change it is because of the light. I wonder if I move this light a little bit. Yeah, there you can see it. Maybe I don't need quite so much light on there. So, one of my dogs is really itching to get outside. They're funny about that. They kind of like being inside too, but they like going in and out because we started giving them a treat every time they came back in after they went out. Especially when even though they were raised in separate households as puppies, even when they were puppies, that's kind of when it started. You know, you go outside and do your business, you get a treat. I am going to be cutting it close time to leave as long as this is taking to cook. Oh, we're cooking with gas now. I wish I could cook with gas. I wish I could cook with gas, but there's not a gas line on the road I live on. We heat with electricity and propane. Oh, here comes Ollie. He's going to start howling at me in a minute, I think. Okay, I'll put that down for a second. I'm going to give it a good stir here. But he's just going to have to wait. They're just going to have to wait. Has a jelly stage on it. You get to that first, and then you get to softball. We've been to a couple of T-ball games for our grandson Luke. Those things are hilarious. It is. It's an adventure for sure. It's really cute. Yeah, we're getting darker and darker and darker here. Darker and darker. But it's fun. It is. And it's neat to see how many around here in Wheelersburg, how many parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, step-grandparents show up to watch these little ones. Just a little bit above 200. We'll set it down for a second. I gotta give it a good stir. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting some major flecks in there. That's really we are there. So we'll turn the stove off. And I am going to go back over here and we'll get. Okay, so we are ready to ice this cake. So I'm going to use the bigger one on the bottom, and I'm going to give it a nice stir here. Here is cake decorating trick I learned a while back. Put a little bit of icing on the bottom and then your cake doesn't bounce around. I'm going to take a quick look and see what those dogs are up to. So we'll put some here. In the bottom, on the top of it, bottom layer here. That should do it. And actually, I think I'm going to put a little bit more on here. More over on this side, and it does set up kind of quick. Oh, it smells good. Okay, now I'm going to take the top part, or the other part, set it on top. I'm just going to put a bunch on for right now. And it's okay if it kind of runs down the edge, because that's where I want it to go eventually anyway, right? I think the next time I make this, I'm going to try doing it in a 2-pan, or I don't have a 2-pan, but I have a bud pan. There's a note on the recipe that if you use a 2-pan, it has to cook for about 75 minutes. So I may try that. I'm going to do that. Over here. There we go. Okay. I forgot to put wax paper underneath to catch all those drippings, and then you can just pull it out. But, well, I can wipe it up. Ooh, that was hot. Don't want to do that. Let it cool down a little bit. Oh no, I got it on my mouth. dogs open the door. So that's why you're hearing our wind chimes out there so well. It is getting kind of windy. It's a little overcast. And while I don't really want it to rain on the guys fishing, although sometimes that makes for better fishing, we really could use the rain. That on top. We just about got it here. And we were just about like solided it up. Put a little bit more down there on the bottom there. Okay, I think we've just about got her there. That is yummy. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some hot water. I'm just going to do this. I'll just run it for a second here. I'm going to heat up my knife a little bit. I want to smooth this over just a little bit. So I'm putting my knife in hot water. I don't know if that's going to be hot enough. It didn't. It may not work for this kind of icing. So we get it hot. See if I can smooth it out just a tad. But actually it doesn't look that bad. Kind of clean it up a bit. I'll stick this in my cake carrier. Take it to our meeting. We hardly met in the winter. All of this, it's really kind of rural around here, rural. And even if it snows just a little bit, the roads can get pretty bad. So we actually had to cancel our church service 2 Sundays in a row because the roads were so bad and our parking lot was bad. There we go. We have a lot of fairly, our congregation is kind of old. Not everybody. I mean, we have a couple of young families. It's a very, very small church. So, but we're starting to grow a little. It's Salem Community Church, and we actually have a YouTube channel, and we broadcast live just about every Sunday, unless the internet's down. or somebody forgets to turn the camera on. We sign on about 10:45. We actually start our service at 10:30, but people are a little bit shy about sharing prayer requests and that kind of thing. So we hold off on turning the camera on for a little bit. We had a really nice Mother's Day service. And then Saturday, we are going to participate in the SOMC hospice walk. We actually had a couple of our members that were in hospice at SOMC, but you know, several members have had a family member who died with hospice. And Bernie actually was a hospice chaplain for a while, and his late wife was in hospice, as was my late husband, but he was in hospice in Huntington, West Virginia, because that's where I used to live. Okay, now that looks significantly better. And how am I doing time-wise? Good. Okay, because I'm like already dressed and everything, so I don't need to do that. I just need to pack it up and get the dogs kind of situated, and I could just leave right on time. And have a good time. We always have a nice conversation and do a little bit of a devotional. At Christmas time, we make little Christmas ornaments and gadgets to take to a local assisted living home. So we've had one member actually lives there now, and then we had another member who recently passed away that was living there. Alrighty. So it is really dense, it's heavy, but it looks pretty good. So I'm going to say so long for now, and I'm gonna wait a day or two, because like the garden date, the update I gave you was really the day before yesterday, so I'll wait till later this week and do another one, and we'll see you later. All right, have a great day.